What's up, market snipers? Welcome back. This is Jesse. It's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I wanted to get in a short, quick Bitcoin video update after we saw 11 ETF approvals today, and want to do a quick update and kind of talk about it over here. So I'll be sending out the free newsletter with it as well, and I've written down some commentary. But I want to kind of go over the shorter term and even the potential longer term targets for Bitcoin. I've added a couple. So I know I posted it, sent out the newsletter. I've done some videos on it. We talked about it in the live stream today as well. But I wanted to get out a separate Bitcoin update just to kind of re-talk about it again. And so let's dive right in. If you stick around the end, then we're going to be doing the longer term targets. So take a look at that. But today, after 11 Bitcoin ETF approvals, price started down -4% and pushed all the way back up with a positive 1.25%. So a little anticlimactic, right? So just a quick recap. We always like to do a quick recap on Bitcoin. Here's the daily chart. It was oversold, bullish divergence, reverse candle, higher low, higher low. Since then, since that buy signal, right? Since that buy signal back here about $27,000, price has been overbought. There was bearish divergence, reversal candle, remained overbought, became overbought again, additional bearish divergence. Looked like it was possible that I could put in a lower high. It did not. There was some pending sell signals. It never sold off. Pumped back up, additional bearish divergence and additional bearish divergence. So here we are on the daily chart, still has bearish divergence, which means that RSI has been slowly been going down on the daily chart while price has been making higher highs. And so therefore it is diverged and it can remain diverged and or overbought, right? So we know that. If you've been following me for more than 2 years, 2.5 years, whether on the Twitter X app, the Discord, whatever, that it can remain overbought or it can remain diverged for much longer than what people think. So let's put on these targets. Remember, we had this drawn out and we put the green arrow here. Even after this fake out to the upside, we had the green arrow to the upside. Or if it started closing below, we had the red arrow to the downside. And here we are. It was battling, and then broke out to the upside again, all the way up to about $47,000 at that close. Wicked all the way to 48,000 yesterday, and 2 days ago it did close just under, just under $47,000. So price got within about $450 to the fourth of four longer term targets, like middle to longer term targets, right? So it got within, what was it, about $48,000, and right at the beginning of the $48,000, about $48,450, $48,500, right? Really close there. So I just put in 48,600 ish. So that's the shorter term. What we're still thinking is this: we had two scenarios laid out back here, right? Two scenarios that we laid out. Price come down like this, come back up, hit this target, come back down, puts in a lower high, comes all the way back down for the next possible buy the dip scenario. It finds support at the key target area, and then you can kind of see, zooming out here, it would, probably, put in a higher low prior to the next halving, and then start to make its run out like that. Maybe not exactly like this, but this is just kind of like the overall general idea. And the other option that we had was it come down like this, puts in lower highs, puts in lower highs, puts in lower highs, breaks down, and then the next possible buy the dip scenario would be something like that, right? So it seems less likely now, right? That obviously, because not only did it fake out to the upside, then it faked out to the downside with that wick, and then battled back up, and now multiple candle closes back above, and it's getting closer and closer to target number 4, right? Will it hit target 4? I mean, it's trending that way. The trending dots are trending up that way as well. And but I have seen it happen before, right? I've had these longer term sniper targets for, as I've been trading Bitcoin since 2020, 2021, and I've seen big players do some profit taking. I've seen some big players front run some of these bigger targets by $500 to $1,000. It is possible that this target doesn't get uh, hit, and that it's going to be front run by some of these bigger players by like $500. It is possible, but as of right now, it is trending that way, right? It is trending that way, and then we'll find out if that was it or not, and then we'll find out if it puts in a lower high and starts putting in sell signal and all that stuff comes out, and then it comes out like that, right? So that's been our main thought since back here. We put this out over a month ago. This is our scenario one, and then of course scenario two didn't happen as it was as breaking out to the upside, right? So that's the shorter term. We had 11 Bitcoin ETF approvals. The trading on that begins tomorrow. That would be Thursday, 1/11/2024 here in the US. And so you'll be able to trade those 11. And I listed out the 11 Bitcoin ETFs in the free newsletter, so you can see all the ticker symbols and the name of it for you. So definitely take a look at the newsletter. Respond to that newsletter. Let me know if you have any questions, how we can make it better. We're sending out the major newsletter once per week, but we're going to do these short, quicker newsletters if anything major comes up, like say the Bitcoin ETF and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that newsletter. Subscribe, share with your family and friends, and all that stuff, right? So with that, what could happen, right, in the shorter term after the Bitcoin ETFs? Just keep in mind when a stock gets newly listed to the NASDAQ or an exchange or whatever, a lot of times there can be, for example, Coinbase, right? Coin, ticker symbol coin, was listed on the stock market, and it pumped up very, 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 very short term and then dumped right back down. So if we were to take a look at that as a real example, coin over here, let's go back, right? Let's go back, and you can kind of see. Oh, let me get off of that. You can see it was listed over on this week here, April 2021. Let's go to the daily chart just so we can kind of see a little bit better. And you can see it was dumped. It was probably listed about right here at 327. I don't know exactly. Probably listed about here. Broke down and then pumped all the way up to 429, and then end up closing back below at 326. So pumped all the way to $430. Doesn't mean you can't trade that intraday, but that would be that's not my style. That's not what I'm going to be doing. So just be aware that it can pump up and come back down. And coin, that was the all-time high, $430. And even the CEO, Brian Armstrong, sold his positions on that day, I believe. I'm pretty sure he sold that day. Then it kind of consolidated, went sideways, had one last little pump up, and then the big retracement comes after that. So just keep that in mind. As these ETFs get listed, it could just be, a pump and dump, right? Pump and dump. And from that pump all the way down to this bear market of minus 92%. So just be aware of that. It is possible. It might not just be up only. That's why we're talking about it. That's why we're covering it. It's an awareness. Of course, yes, it could go straight to the moon, could go right to $1 million. Yes, right? I'm being sarcastic. And of course, it could go to zero. Yeah, probably not. All right, so that's what it could do. It is possible. It is a pump and dump. Let's get back to Bitcoin over here. A couple things I want to cover. The weekly chart, the monthly chart is still bullish, right? The weekly chart is still ultra bullish as of right now, and the daily chart is still bullish. So the overall timing of everything is, of the trend is bullish, right? So there is bearish divergence on the daily chart, but as of right now, the monthly chart is bullish, the weekly chart is bullish, and the daily chart is bullish, right? But a couple things to point out. The trending dots on the weekly chart is about $39,000. So it could let price catch up, could let the moving averages catch up. Something to point out, the monthly chart trending dots are below $30,000 as of right now. The 200-week moving average is about $30,000. So it is getting pretty far, prices are getting pretty far extended away. And then the daily trending dots are about just under $45,000. So just as an awareness, right? It is getting pretty far extended away from the weekly and the monthly, and it can remain that way. But I wanted to point those out. Now, for the couple ideas, right? Abercrombie, I saw this that Abercrombie and Fitch took out their all-time highs over here in 2023 and went on to make these enormous hit this price target up here and then hit this price target up here. So took out the all-time highs in 2023. And then after it took out all-time highs, it hit this target and this target. So what am I talking about? Let's take a look at it. If we zoom out here in the weekly chart, right? Former all-time high for Abercrombie and Fitch. The ticker symbol is ANF, as you can see in the upper left-hand corner. Took out this price here. The weekly candles were ultra bullish as well and just went parabolic, right? Just went parabolic, hit this target here above the all-time highs, and then hit this target up here and is even above it, right? Why am I pointing this out? I'm pointing this out because this is a potential longer-term targets way above the 4 targets that I mapped out at the very bottom, way above the all-time highs, right? So fast forward to NVIDIA. NVIDIA took out the all-time highs in 2023. The weekly chart was ultra bullish as well, right? Took out the all-time highs, ultra bullish on the weekly chart, came up and hit Abercrombie and Fitch target 1, right? The same exact target. And then that happened back in July 2023. It consolidated, it even retraced, consolidated for basically 6 months. And now it just broke out to the upside this week. I believe it was today or yesterday, right? Or a few days ago, started breaking out to the upside. The last buy signal was last Friday, and then really started to push up on Monday. And then there's some follow through on Tuesday. So what if NVIDIA doesn't just crash down, right? What if NVIDIA comes up and hits this target, goes parabolic? One day it might retrace back and fill this 20% gap, but it's not trending that way right now. There's no sell signal on the weekly chart. So Abercrombie and Fitch, aka ANF, very similar to NVIDIA that took out the all-time highs over here. It was ultra bullish on the weekly chart, pumped all the way up, hit this target, consolidated, and now is breaking out to the upside, right? So that's NVIDIA. Remember, that's ANF. Just keep that in mind, right? Took an all-time high, ultra bullish, and then just went parabolic like that, right? So fast forward to over here. What if price takes out this all-time high, right? It could retrace first and then start to gain momentum back up, even come up to the all-time highs, challenge it. I put out this, what if Bitcoin hits the same targets as ANF, Abercrombie and Fitch hit those targets in 2023. Bitcoin has retested the yellow line every cycle so far, which is currently sitting at $114,127. I think it's $114,133 today. So it is a moving target that is slowly increasing to the upside. This crazy chart idea suggests at least 2 major pullbacks along the way. Is this possible, right? And then I went on, go ahead and like it over there. I went on and showed the NVIDIA chart and all that stuff over there. So with that, is it a possibility that Bitcoin does that? Yes, it is a possibility. If Abercrombie and Fitch can do it, NVIDIA can do it. If NVIDIA can do it, why not Bitcoin, right? Why not Bitcoin? But it wasn't happening in 2022. It wasn't happening in 2023, right? So 2022, many calling for $100,000 Bitcoin back here. Not even close. We said 0% chance. And then we were calling at the bottom with bullish divergence. Took an entry at 16,800, continued pumping up. And then many called for 2023 all-time highs as well with $100,000 Bitcoin. Again, it didn't happen. But here we are, right? It is possible. End of 2024, quarter 3, 2024. It is possible 2025. We will see whether it hits it in 2024 or 2025, it'll be amazing no matter what. If we're hitting Bitcoin at $100,000, just imagine what crypto's doing. Just imagine what the Bitcoin miners are doing, what the Bitcoin ETFs are doing. It could be an exciting 2024, 2025 for Bitcoin and swing traders, and of course, the market snipers. With that said, thanks again for all of your support. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and share this with all of your friends, family, and social media over there. Thank you, and I'll get this sent out today through the